Hello again, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to talk about a revolver today, namely the Smith & Wesson Model 66 K-frame 357 revolver in stainless. So the 66 was a stainless model. The Model 19, same thing, only in blue. Both 6-shot 357s and very well built. The Model 19 was widely held in very high regard and was consulted by Bill Jordan. And Bill Jordan really wanted this K-frame revolver in 357. Now, we had a long time of, the K-frame 38s. The Model 10s had been around for a very long time, but the 357 and the K-frame is really what they wanted. Now, before the K-frame, there was the N-frame, which was the Model 27. Which originally was just called the Registered Magnum. But this one really started the 357, revolver type revolution, and was used pretty widely in a lot of different places. 19s and 66s saw use in other countries. The U.S. Border Patrol used them. Several divisions of Highway Patrol used them. They were just a very nice, all-around, good, sturdy revolver in 357. Very important. So let's talk a little bit about this particular gun. And I actually had one of these a few years back. Mine was a 66-2. Now they add the dash designations when they change certain things. This is a -1, which means we still have the pin barrel. See a little pin there. And then the recessed cylinders, which just basically means when you put the rounds in, they will sit flush there, which is just kind of nice, but not really needed. And I believe it was in like 82 or mid-80s, early 80s, something like that, they stopped doing a lot of that, because really it wasn't needed. But you talk about a lot of revolver collectors, or you talk to them, they're going to say they really do want those couple of options there, because it's just a cool option that you don't see much anymore. Now the 19s and the 66s had the adjustable sights, adjustable rear sight. You can see the rear sight here. Nice big oversized blade front sight, which is very nice. It's a good sight picture. And then of course, these had a little bit of orange up there on the top, so it's pretty easy to find that orange and really get on target quick. Now, a counterpart, the Model 13, and then its stainless counterpart, the Model 65, they had the fixed sights. So the 1966 had the adjustables, the 13 and 65 had the fixed. But essentially, about the same revolver. Both K-frame, both 357. Now, the 66 does only shroud, so far, the ejector rod, whereas say like a 686 would have that shroud basically all the way down the barrel. Either way, I think that's mainly a question of aesthetics. I personally don't care. Looks good either way. It's a darn nice looking revolver. Word about triggers. Now this particular revolver has a very nice trigger. Nice and crisp. Doesn't jerk you around at all in double action. It's a smooth, consistent trigger. See, whereas Colts sometimes will stack, Smith & Wesson made a very consistent trigger. Obviously a little heavier, but it's not that big a deal. You're going to roll through it. Talking single action though, single action is very crisp, very clean, and very light. It's a light single action. So you could really just blow through that with that single. And it feels very good. So triggers are very nice. Does have some nice grip here on the hammer, so you can really get a hold of that hammer with your thumb, so there's no slipping and sliding around. And this particular revolver is in really nice condition. Really no dings and dents. The rifling's good. The barrel lockup's very nice, and everything. And it feels very good. Of course, the only thing I don't like are these huge Pacmar grips, which are pretty common. I mean, Pacmar, you'll see these on a lot of old Smiths. You know, you want to lose those wood grips, but those are what I like. This is a very large grip for me with somewhat smaller hands. I mean, like I said, I can get that double action pull, but it's literally by the skin of my finger. I have to kind of adjust my hand forward just a little bit on that grip to get a full, real finger pull on that trigger here. So that's something I'll replace, but it's not something that's going to affect anything. And of course, one thing that this gun does not have that a lot of you might really hate, well, you'd love that it doesn't have it on it, you'd hate it if it does have it on it, are the locks, the frame locks. Of course, Smith & Wesson does that. This is old enough to where it doesn't have the frame locks. The old style cylinder release with nice grip in there. All around, I mean, it's just such a smooth operating revolver. And I can't remember if I said what the dash number was. This is a 66-1, which would place it in the 70s. And like I said earlier, that pin barrel and recessed cylinder, of course, dates it in the 70s as well, because a lot of that stuff just went out in the 80s. But anyway, I wanted to take a little bit of time to show this girl off, because this is a fine revolver. And these are slowly going to be a little bit harder to find, these examples. Now, the original line started in '55, I believe, and ended in '99. Now, it has made a comeback in 2014. You can buy a new Model 66 in stores today. But there's nothing quite like an old 70s revolver with all the pin barrel and the recessed cylinder and just all nice and shiny with a good old trigger on it. Something special about that, especially seeing it has survived as long as it has. So anyway, folks, that's the Model 66 that I just acquired. I appreciate all of you stopping down, watching the videos. I hope you enjoy all that we put up on the channel, and look forward to providing more content as time goes by. Just encourage you to keep leaving your comments if you have any questions, comments, concerns, so on and so forth. Hitting the old like button if you enjoyed the video, and as always, subscribe to the channel so we can continue to get big until we're like big and gigantic, you know what I mean? But anyway, folks, you'll have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.